Hello children, let's come back to our maths class. Today we are going to see a new topic under complex numbers. We are going to study about modulus of a complex number. In the previous class we have seen about the conjugate of a complex number. Yes children, we were dealing with the conjugates. And you know the meaning of conjugate. Suppose you have a complex number z is equal to x plus iy. The conjugate of it, what is the conjugate of it? The conjugate of this is x minus iy. That is, you have to change the sign of the imaginary part. So this is what we studied in the previous exercise. And along with the conjugate, we also studied some of the properties of conjugate. And we used the property for solving the sums from exercise 2.4. Yes children, I hope you are clear with the exercises. Yes children, so whatever we have done from 2.1 to 2.4, you are clear. Okay, good. So today we are going to continue with a new topic. Let's start with the topic. Today we are going to talk about a modulus of a complex number. I would like you to take your classwork. Give the heading points to remember. Give the heading points to remember. Take down your classwork. Give the heading points to remember. Let's go for the first point. You can refer page 66 for points. Okay children, I'm going to write down the points from page 66. So let's take down the points. First one, if z is equal to x plus iy, then the modulus of z is denoted by modulus z. Already we have studied about mod z, children, absolute value or modulus, yes? So same way, is denoted by modulus z. Is defined by mod z is equal to square root of x square plus y square. So how to find the modulus? You have to find the modulus of z by taking the square root of x square plus y square. I'll just give you an example children. Suppose you have a complex number. It's given as z is equal to 3 plus 8i. What is the complex number given to you? Z is equal to 3 plus 8i. So we have seen the conjugate. How to find the conjugate? The conjugate is z bar. Yes children? So z bar means you have to change the sign of the imaginary part. So this is 3 minus 8i. That's the conjugate part. Now here we are talking about the modulus. Yes? So how to find modulus? First of all, you write the symbol modulus of z. What is the formula for finding modulus of z? Square root of x square plus y square. Yes children, and I have already told you about the complex number. The number without I is called the real part, and the number with the imaginary part is, or the imaginary unit, this is called the imaginary part. So this is imaginary part and the I is imaginary unit. So this is again I am just giving you an idea so that you have to be thorough with it. And also I told you that the real part is denoted as x and the imaginary part is taken as y. So you have to take the value from there. So the question was 3 plus 8i, the z is equal to 3 plus 8i. So we have to write down the value for x and y. Okay children? So what is x? It's 3. So 3 square plus y. What is y? Do not take I don't want I. I is an imaginary unit. We are not going to focus on I, you are going to focus on only the imaginary part, that's 8. So 3 square plus 8 square, so that's 9 plus 64. 8 is a 64. So what is the answer? Tell me the answer. I hope you are doing the work, yes? So you have to write down the answer, okay? 73. Yes. Okay children, so this is how you have to find out this. So no need to go for the simplification, you can just keep the answer as it is. Okay children, so wherever it is possible, try to simplify the answer. In other cases, you can keep as root 73. I hope you are clear with this value children. So just write down the definition. So what is the definition for modulus? How are you going to find modulus? Modulus is denoted by mod z and the formula is square root of x square plus y square. So suppose you have a complex number, take the real part and take the imaginary part and you have to square. Suppose you are having here minus, okay, instead of plus you have minus, means 3 square plus minus 8 square, that's all. Mostly the answer will remain the same because 3 square plus minus 8 the whole square, minus 8 into minus 8 is going to give you 64. So you get the answer as root 73. Clear children? Okay. Let's go for the next point. Down the second point. For the second one is the properties of modulus of a complex number. Give the heading. Properties of modulus of a complex number. Properties of modulus of a complex number. So we have some more properties. They have given you 8 properties over there, yes children. And along with the 8 properties, you have to add one more property over there. It's the first one. You can see a orange color box. Can you see an orange color box? Yes, we have one property over there. So you have to write down that property as the first property. So mod z square is z bar. What is the first property of modulus? Mod z square is equal to, or modulus z square is equal to z into z bar. Modulus z square is equal to z into z square, z bar, okay, that is z into z conjugate. See here for modulus also you have a conjugate. So we have to be thorough with all the concepts. Let's go for the second point. The second one is an important point that we use for the sum. That is the triangle inequality. Take down the second point. I'll just continue this side so that you will be clear. I'll write down here. Okay. Go for the second one. Modulus of z1 plus z2 is less than or equal to z1 plus z2. So this is called as triangle inequality. Okay, this property is called as triangle inequality. So what is the second property? Modulus z1 plus z2 is less than or equal to modulus z1 plus modulus z2. Next, third one. Oh, I missed out one. Okay, I'll just continue over here for the third one. Okay, I'll write down the first point. Modulus z is equal to modulus z bar. Modulus z is equal to modulus z bar. Okay. And on the fourth one, modulus z1 z2 is equal to modulus z1 modulus z2. I hope you are doing along with me. Take down the points. You have the books in front of you. You can just go on reading your properties and you can write down. Next one. Mod of z1 minus z2 is greater than or equal to mod of z1 minus mod of z2. It's under the mod. See, for addition, we just breaked it. Yes, we have just broken them. Like z1 plus z2. I'll tell you where we use this. Okay. So z1 plus z2 is less than or equal to z1. That is modulus z1 plus modulus z2. And modulus z1 minus z2 is greater than or equal to mod of modulus z1 minus modulus z2. Go for the sixth property. z1 upon z2, that is modulus of z1 upon z2 is equal to modulus of z1 upon modulus of z2. Z2 is not equal to 0, because if Z2 is equal to 0, everything goes off. You don't get the property. So modulus of Z1 upon Z2 is equal to modulus Z1 upon modulus Z2. Z2 is not equal to 0. I hope you are doing the work. Write down properly, children. We have to use the property. So we have to write down the properties. What are the properties? Let's go for the 7th point. Okay, so we were doing with the 7th one. What was the 7th one? Let's start on the next property. Modulus Z raised to n is equal to mod Z the whole raised to n. Modulus Z raised to n is equal to mod Z the whole raised to n, where n is an integer. N belongs to integer. N is a integer. Next, 8th one, real part of Z. Real part of Z is less than or equal to modulus Z, and the last one, imaginary part of Z is less than or equal to mod Z. So we have totally 9 points under the property. So you have to remember these properties. Like suppose we have any applications, or if you have any problems, we have to use this. Okay, children. So if we use the problem, it will be easy for to simplify the sums. Okay, let us have a small recap, or let us read once again the properties. What was the first property, children? Modulus Z square. Modulus Z square is equal to Z into Z bar. What is the first property? Modulus Z square is equal to Z into Z bar. Second property, modulus Z1 plus Z2 is less than or equal to modulus Z1 plus modulus Z2. This is called as triangle inequality. Third one, modulus Z is equal to modulus of Z conjugate. Fourth one, modulus Z1 Z2 is equal to modulus of Z1 into modulus of Z2. Fifth point, modulus Z1 minus Z2. Here, where for this part, for my product, it was directly taken, but for subtraction, just observe carefully, children. For addition and for subtraction, we have a different rule. For addition, when you have an addition of two complex number, it is less than or equal to the two complex numbers separately, like Z1 plus Z2, and you get here inequality sign. Okay, children. Similarly, when you subtract a complex number, again here it was less than or equal to, here it will turn to be greater than or equal to. Just careful whenever you study the properties, compare and study the properties so that it will be easy. So for addition it is less than or equal to, for subtraction it is greater than or equal to. And here we have written the modulus separately as modulus Z1 plus modulus Z2. But here what are you going to do? You are going to write them separately. Okay, Z1, modulus of Z1 minus modulus of Z2. Again you have to put it in a modulus. See here? Here we are using a modulus for both. But here we are not using modulus. We are just writing the modulus of Z1 and we are writing the modulus of Z2 and adding them. But here you have to write the modulus of Z1, modulus of Z2 separately, and you have to take a common modulus for both. Are you clear, children? I hope you are able to differentiate the properties. Okay, good. Now sixth one is, if you have a modulus for Z1 upon Z2, it can be written as modulus Z1 upon modulus Z2, and the denominator part should not be equal to 0. Next one, modulus Z raised to n. So it's mostly similar to your conjugate, children, if you study. So when you study, what you have to do is you have to take the conjugate property and you have to take the modulus property. You can just compare them and you can study. If you just compare, you will come to know, okay, what is the common part and what is the different part over there. So modulus z raised to n is equal to modulus z the whole raised to n. So here the power was inside the modulus sign. Now here the power comes out of the modulus sign. Real part of z, remember real part of z is always less than or equal to modulus z, and same manner imaginary part of z is also less than or equal to modulus z. These are the properties. So you have to know the properties, like we learn the formulas as children. We learn the formulas, we learn all the identities. Why we learn? We learn the formulas, we learn the identities so that we can apply it in the problem and we can get the answer. Similarly, you are going to study these properties and you have to understand these properties, and what are we going to do? We are going to apply in the exercise sums. Shall we start with the exercise now? I hope you have taken on the properties, children. Okay, you have to write neatly. You know how to present your answers and everything. Do it. Now let's move to the exercise. So we have finished the points, remember. Give the heading exercise 2. It is 2.5. Give the heading exercise 2.5. Right, on the first question, find the modulus of the following complex numbers. Right, on the first question, find the modulus of the following complex numbers. Have you taken on the question, children? Go for the first subpart. Right, on the first subpart. First subpart. I'll rub the board. Okay. Question number 1, exercise 2.5. Question number 1, the first subpart. 2i upon 3 plus 4i. What is given to you? 2i upon 3 plus 4i. Have you taken on the question? Okay. So now we have to find the modulus of this. Yes, children, we know the formula for modulus. What is the formula for modulus? Modulus z is equal to square root of x square plus y square. What is modulus z? Square root of x square plus y square. Okay. Now, what are we going to do here? We are going to assume the question as z. I'll write down here, let z is equal to 2i upon 3 plus 4i. Take down the sum, children. You can just note down the formula. Let z is equal to 2i upon 3 plus 4i. Okay, now what are we going to do? We are going to find modulus z is. So put here modulus z is equal to modulus 2i upon 3 plus 4i. Modulus 2i upon 3 plus 4i. We have seen a property, children. We have seen a property. If modulus z1 upon z2 means, you can write it as modulus z1 upon modulus z2. I told you, yes, children, we'll be using the properties for the exercise sum. So we have to apply the properties for the problem. See here. So we have a common modulus. So now what are we going to do? We are going to give the modulus separately for the numerator part and separately for the denominator part. So this is equal to modulus 2i upon modulus 3 plus 4i. So we are using this property. Modulus z1 upon z2 is equal to modulus z1 upon modulus z2. Okay children, now we know how to find out the answer. Let's go for the answer. So this is equal to, square root of x square plus y square. Yes, I don't have a real part over here, so the real part will be taken as 0. So this is equal to 0 square plus 2 square upon 3 square plus 4 square. So this is root 4, 0 square 0, 2 square 4. So 0 plus 4, 4, 3 3s are 9 plus 16. So this is root 4 upon root 25. I get the answer is 2 upon 5. So the modulus of 2i upon 3 plus 4i is 2 upon 5. Write down the answer children. Have you completed the first part? Okay. Just listen to me carefully. You have to complete the second and the fourth as the homework children. So homework, I'll be mentioning the homework over here. Okay, I'll put here. Homework, exercise 2.5. Question number 1, the second subpart and the fourth subpart will be done by you. Okay. You'll be doing the second and the fourth. Second one is just cross multiplying and you have to get the answer. That's very easy. You have to use the formula, like you have to proceed the same manner we have gone for first subpart. And also fourth one. Fourth one is an easy thing. You have to multiply and you have to make a complex number. And after you get a complex number, you apply the formula and you get the answer. So from question number 1, the second subpart and the fourth subpart will be your homework. So you have to be very, very careful in your classwork. You have to attend your class carefully, with lot of concentration. You have to just open your ears and you have to put all your things to your brain. Okay, so just listen carefully. Shall we go for the next sum, children? I hope you would have done it. I'll rub this part. So write down the third subpart. It's 1 minus I the whole raised to 10. Okay. So let us write down. Starting, I have to assume it as a complex number. So I'll write let z is equal to 1 minus I the whole raised to 10. Yes, children, I use this sum. I just choose this sum because here again we are going to use a property. In the first sum we used a property, yes, children. We use the property z1 upon z2 is equal to z1 upon z2. Yes. Similarly here also we are going to use the property. So I just wanted you to give the importance of properties, that if you know the properties you can just go on applying it and you can get the answer. Okay. So let z is equal to 1 minus I the whole raised to 10. So now what are we going to do here? We are going to find the modulus. So if you have to find the modulus, you have to put a modulus sign. Let's put a modulus sign, modulus of z. When you put a sign of modulus, you have to use a modulus sign here also. That's 1 minus I the whole raised to 10. I hope you're clear, children. Do not get confused. Z is equal to 1 minus I the whole raised to 10. Okay. So now what are we going to find? We are going to find modulus z. So modulus z is equal to modulus of 1 minus I the whole raised to 10. Clear, children? And now we have studied a property. I hope you would have recollected the property. Very good. Just turn your points where you have written down the property. See the property, children. I hope you have written it in the last third one. Yeah, the last third. That means I think seventh one, I think so. Yes. Modulus z raised to n. First it was like this. Modulus of z raised to n. Now it will change to modulus of z the whole raised to n. First the n was inside the modulus sign. Now the n goes out of the modulus sign. That is the property. Modulus of z, that is modulus of z raised to n, is equal to modulus z the whole raised to n. So be careful when you read. How to read it? Modulus of z raised to n is equal to modulus of z the whole raised to n. So let us write down this property over there. So this is equal to 1 minus I the whole raised to 10. I hope you are clear, children. I'll write the property here. Modulus of z raised to n is equal to modulus z the whole raised to n. So we are using a property over here. Have you done the work? Now you know how to do it. You know how to find out this answer. Come on, find it. So this is, you just put a bracket because we have the power 10 here. Okay, children? So write down the answer for this. 1 minus I the whole raised to 10. The 10 is there. Do not remove the 10. You have to keep the 10 over there. Okay. So what is the real part here? 1. That means x is 1. And what is y here? It's minus 1. I told you, you have to consider the sign also. That's minus 1. So you get here 1 square plus, remember the formula. You remember the formula, children? Square root of x square plus y square. So 1 square plus, what is the imaginary part here? It's minus 1. Minus 1 the whole square raised to 10. Are you able to see, children? I'll write little bigger for you. So this is equal to square root of 1 square plus minus 1 the whole square whole raised to 10. Clear? Okay, let's go for the next step. So what do you get in the next step? Root of 1 plus 1 whole raised to 10. Minus 1 is 1. So you get root 2 the whole raised to 10. So this is what. So we have to simplify. Let's go on simplifying root 2 the whole raised to 10. Very easy calculation. Root 2 into root 2 10 times. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you know that root 2 into root 2 gives you 2. What is the value for root 2 into root 2? 2. Root 2 into root 2, 2. This is 2. This is 2. This is 2. So total how many 2's you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 into 2, 4. 4 2's are 8. 8 2's are 16. 16 2's are 32. So the answer is 32. Just see here again for the third subpart we have used a property. I hope you people know how to find out the answer. Root 2 into root 2. When you multiply root 2 into root 2, it gives you 2. So totally we have 10 2's, 10 root 2's. Yes, we have 10 root 2's. So you just go on grouping them and you get the answer is 2, 2, 2. 5 2's you get. 2 don't write 2 5's are 10. That's wrong. 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. 5 times. You get the answer is 32. Clear, children? Okay, good. If you want, you can show this in your rough part. Sometimes you may have a confusion why we get here 32. You can show the working part. Okay, now let's move to the second question. Take down the second question, children. For any two complex numbers, Z1 and Z2 such that modulus of Z1 is equal to modulus of Z2 is equal to 1 and Z1 Z2 is not equal to minus 1, then show that Z1 plus Z2 upon 1 plus Z1 into Z2 is a real number. Write down. For any two complex numbers. So you are given with two complex numbers Z1 and Z2 and they have given some condition, yes. Modulus of Z1 is 1, modulus of Z2 is 1, but Z1 into Z2 is not equal to minus 1. So we have to show a number as a real number. What is the number given to you? Z1 plus Z2 upon 1 plus Z1 into Z2 is a real number. we are going to solve this sum using the properties. We have to apply the properties and we are going to complete the answer. Shall we start, children? Okay, let's go with the work. Write down. Given Z1 is equal to Z2 is equal to 1. Okay, given Z1 is equal to Z2 is equal to 1. This is given to us. So I am going to take the first part here. I'll take first part. Z1 is equal to 1. Okay, children. So modulus of Z1 is equal to 1. So this gives you Z into how are you going to write this one? Actually, this is the first property, children. Do you remember this property? See here. Mod of Z1 is equal to 1. Yes, children. So I'll just include one more statement. I'll just continue here. So we can say that modulus of Z1 square is also 1. Agreed? Is this step clear to you? Because Z1 is going to give you 1. So Z1 square, when I square the modulus, I'm going to get the answer as 1. So this is how it is written as Z1 bar. See, we have written this. Modulus Z is, or you can say Z square is Z into Z bar. Are you getting the first property? Don't get confused. I'm not confusing you. So we were given with Z1 is equal to 1 and we are giving Z2 is equal to 1. So what I'm taking the first one. I'm just taking the first part. Now Z1 square will be 1 only. If you square, you are going to get the answer as 1. Same answer. Okay. So what is this property? The first property we have listed out. Z, modulus of Z square can be written as Z into Z bar. Okay, children. So here we are dealing with Z1. So instead of Z, what are you going to do? You are going to write down Z1 and Z1 bar. That's all. So write down Z1. So therefore Z1 into Z1 bar is equal to 1. Therefore I want the value for Z1. So Z1 is 1 upon Z1 bar. I hope you are clear. We are going slow. So Z1 is equal to 1. So I am squaring them. I get Z1 square is 1. So this is the first property that we are going to write down. So Z1 square can be written as Z1 bar. This is equal to 1. So I get Z1. I want the value for Z1 and Z2, children. So I am writing the value for Z1. So this is equal to 1 upon Z1 bar. Okay, children. Now you are going to complete for Z2. So consider Z2 is equal to 1. Come on, complete the step. Get me the value for Z2. I hope you have completed. Yes, for it's Z2 square, children. So how are you going to write Z2 square? You have to write it as Z2 into Z2 bar is equal to 1. For Z1 square, we wrote Z1 bar, yes. Same way for Z2 square, you have to write down Z2 bar is equal to 1. So therefore, Z2 is equal to 1 upon Z2 bar. Z2 is equal to 1 upon Z2 bar. So we have found the value for Z1 and also we have found the value for Z2 using the first property. We have used the first property. What was the property? Modulus of Z square is equal to Z into Z bar. So we'll go on learning, children. So whenever you apply the property, it is easy for us. See, we have done 3 sums and we have used 3 properties. For the first one we used, modulus of Z1 upon Z2 is equal to modulus of Z1 upon modulus of Z2. This was used for the first sum. Then for the third subpart, I used modulus of Z raised to n is equal to modulus Z the whole raised to n. Now what is the property I am going to use for this part? For this one, what I have used? I have used modulus Z square is equal to Z into Z bar. So still we have some more properties that we are going to use over here. Okay, so what we have done, we have just found out the value for Z1 and Z2. Clear, children, till here? Are you clear till this point? Okay, good. Now let's continue. So you are going to take down the question part. What is the thing you are going to show it is real? We have a complex number, eh, children? So you have to take that complex number. Write down. Consider Consider Z1 plus Z2 upon 1 plus Z1 into Z2. This is what is given to us. So we are going to check whether this number is a real number. Okay. So how are you going to check whether this number is real number? I have already found the value for Z1. Yes. I have the value for Z1 and I have the value for Z2. So we are going to substitute the value and we are going to simplify it and we are going to arrive at a conclusion, and let us check whether it is a real number, or here the question is show that. Show that means it is a real number. It will be a real number. Once. Okay children, so what we have considered? We have considered Z1 plus Z2 upon 1 plus Z1 into Z2. So now let us substitute the value. So what you get here? This is equal to, just go on applying the value, 1 upon Z1 bar. This is very easy. Already we have a condition, so we took the condition and we found the value for Z1 and we found the value for Z2. Now what are we going to do? We are going to just substitute there. So 1 upon Z1 bar plus 1 upon Z2 bar upon 1 plus 1 upon Z1 bar into 1 upon Z2 bar. I have substituted the value, children. Just be careful, very simple sum. I hope you are clear with the numbers. 1 plus 1 upon Z1, 1 upon Z2. Write down the numbers properly. Okay, so now let us cross multiply and solve the numerator and the denominator. Let's try to simplify it. So this is equal to Z2 bar plus Z1 bar. Okay, Z2 bar plus Z1 bar upon Z1 bar Z2 bar. Are you clear, children? We take, when we multiply, like I'll just go for a number. 3 upon 4 plus 5 upon 6 means how you write? 3 into 6 plus 5 into 4 upon 4 into 6. Yes, children? This is how we solve. Same manner. Z2 bar plus Z1 bar upon Z1 into Z2 bar. Okay, let's go for the denominator part. Upon. This is 1 plus 1 into 1, 1 upon Z1 into Z2, Z1 bar. Yeah, children, here it's a bar. Yes, I missed the bar. Please insert the bar. Yeah, you have to insert the bar. Yeah, we have to write the value for Z1 and Z2. Yes, so 1 upon Z1 bar and 1 upon Z2 bar. Insert the bar, children, the conjugate there. So you get 1 upon Z1 bar, Z2 bar. So let's simplify this again. I get Z2 bar plus Z1 bar upon Z1 bar, Z2 bar upon. Again cross multiply, same manner. Z1 bar, Z2 bar. You would see only what is this Z, Z, Z. We never use the word Z in our alphabet, children. There is the letters that starts from Z is very rare. We have very rare, what you can say, words that we use from Z. But see here, we are just going on using Z, 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 yes. So Z1, Z2 bar, this is Z1 into Z2, yes, Z1 bar into Z2 bar plus 1 upon Z1 bar, Z2 bar. Please do not get confused, this is whole one term, this is whole one term. So be careful. So you have to proceed the steps along with me. I hope, just stay on the steps, children. Do not just wait. If you go on taking the steps, then it will be clear to you. Otherwise, you may have confusion. Shall we continue? I'll just rub this part. So now where we have stops here, so we can cancel the common denominators. The denominators are same. I can cancel Z1 bar, Z2 bar and Z1 bar, Z2 bar. So now what is left here? Z2 bar plus Z1 bar upon Z1 bar, Z2 bar plus 1. This is what is left. Yes. So now what are we going to do is, we are going to give a common bar. So we have studied this complex number z1 plus z2, or not for this, for a conjugate we have studied. If it is a conjugate of z1 plus z2, it can be written as z1 conjugate plus z2 conjugate. This we have seen in our previous exercises, children. The conjugate of z1 plus z2 can be written as z1 plus z2. That is conjugate of z1 plus conjugate of z2. So here it is separated. I am going to write them together. So this is equal to z2 plus z1 conjugate upon, you can put 1 for the conjugate sign, no problem. z1, z2 plus 1 conjugate. Okay. So conjugate of z2 plus z1. So this can be written as, I can just change the order. I'll just change the order. So z1 plus z2 upon 1 plus z1 z2. Have you taken another step, children? So I have just cancelled the denominator. Then we are giving a common conjugate for the numerator and the denominator. And then I am just arranging the term. It was z2 plus z1, and so we are arranging the terms properly. Have you arranged it? Okay. Now let's come to, don't get confusion between the lines. This is a conjugate, this is a conjugate, and this is a line which shows the numerator and the denominator part, which differentiates the numerator and denominator. Okay. So now what are we going to do here? We are going to write down this as z1 plus z2 upon 1 plus z1 z2, the whole conjugate. Are you clear? See, we have this z bar, z1 conjugate, z2 conjugate. This can be, or if you have a whole conjugate like z1 upon z2, the whole conjugate can be written as z1 conjugate upon z2 conjugate. z1 upon z2 conjugate, that is the whole, you can write as z1 conjugate upon z2 conjugate. So here we are having separately the conjugate. Yes, children? z1 plus z2 conjugate upon 1 plus z1 z2. So you have to write down this as together. I am giving a common conjugate. So z1 plus z2 is equal to 1 plus z1 z2. Clear? So now what we started with? We started with, so write down, therefore z1 plus z2 upon 1 plus z1 z2, this is equal to z1 plus z2 1 plus z1 z2. That is, I started with this. I considered this equation, I considered this complex number z1 plus z2 upon 1 plus z1 z2, and now we have arrived at z1 plus z2 upon 1 plus z1 z2, the whole conjugate. If z is equal to z bar, if z is equal to z bar, then z is real. I hope you remember this. Again, this was done under the property of a conjugate. Just come to page, where is it, property? Yeah. Take down the properties, children. Yeah, it is page number 61. So we have written the condition there. Z 8 point. You can see in page 61 the 8 point. Z is real if Z is equal to Z bar. If and only if Z is equal to Z bar. Yes, children. So Z is equal to Z bar. So this was the Z part, and now the same Z is written as Z bar. So you say if Z is equal to Z bar, then Z is real. Therefore, Z1 plus Z2 upon 1 plus Z1 Z2 is real. Okay. If Z is equal to Z bar, just we are using the condition. So we have started with Z1 plus Z2 upon 1 plus Z1 Z2, and we got a conjugate of it. So if Z is equal to Z conjugate, you have to say that Z is real. So here what is Z? This part is Z. Yes, children? So you have to say this is real. Z1 plus Z2 upon 1 plus Z1 into Z2 is real. Let's go for the third question. I hope you have done. You have completed? Good. Is it clear, children? Can you understand? Good. You have to try, you have to practice. Already I have told you, the more we practice, the more we practice, we are going to get, or we are going to score more and more marks. So scoring marks is in your hands. You have to just go on practicing all the classworks, all the homeworks, and along with that, you have to go for all the solved examples. And whenever you get free time, have a habit of taking the notes of the important points. You know that the questions may be asked for definition, or it may be asked for explanation. So you should get a habit of taking the notes, important notes. Okay, children? Okay, let's move to sum number 3. Shall I rub the board? Have you taken down? Okay, children? Take down the third question. Which one of the points, question number 3, which one of the points 10 minus 8i, 11 plus 6i is closest to 1 plus I? Is closest to 1 plus I. So we have a number 1 minus I, 10 minus 8i, 11 plus 6i, and you have to check which of these two numbers. So you have 3 numbers over here. Like 10 minus 8i, you have 11 plus 6i, and we have to find out which of these two number is closest to 1 plus I. Whether 10 minus 8i is closest to 1 plus I, or 11 plus 6i is closest to 1 plus I. Okay, children, whenever you talk about the closest, what we are going to do, we are going to find out the distance. Yes, children? So we have to find out which is the, we have to find out the distance. Let us find out distance, and we will compare the distance, and we will find out the closest value. Shall we start, children? Let's go with the work. Write down. Let the points be, let the points be A, 10 minus 8i, B, 11 plus 6i, and C, 1 plus I. I have just given a point. I have just taken them as A, B, and C point. So what is A point? 10 minus 8i, B is 11 plus 6i, and C is 1 plus I. So now what are we going to do here? We are going to find out the distance. Okay, so now I am going to find out the distance between AC, and we have to find out the distance between BC. Are you getting my point, children? The question was which of these points were closest to 1 plus I. So first of all, you have to find out the distance of this 2, and you have to find the distance of this 2. And after finding the distance, you have to compare the distance, and we have to give the required answer. Okay, children? Let's write on the next point. Distance between A and B. Okay, not A and B, we have to find A and C. I told you A and C and B and C. So A and C is equal to modulus of, take this value and take this value. We have to take the difference of them. So 10 minus 8i minus 1 plus I. Be careful with the step, children. We have to take the difference. Distance between A and C is 10 minus 8i, that is A value. You take the main sign as minus, and you write down the value for C in bracket. That's 1 plus I. Okay. Now let me solve. I'll do the first part, and you're going to try out the second part, children. Okay. So this is equal to 10 minus 8i. This is minus. So when you have a main sign as minus, you have to change the sign of the numbers which are inside the bracket. So plus 1 will turn to minus 1. Plus I will turn to minus I. So this is 10 minus 1, 9. Minus 8i minus I. Minus 8 minus I. That is minus 8i minus I means minus 9i. Minus 9i. Minus minus plus sign of the bigger number. So minus 9i. We know how to find the modulus, square root of x square plus y square. So square root of 9 square plus minus 9 square. So square root of 9 nines are 81, 9 nines are 81. Minus 9 into minus 9, 81. So this is 162. No need to simplify, just keep it as 162. So we have found the distance between A and C. Now you have to find out the distance between, we completed A and C, yes children? So you have to find B and C. So distance between B and C. Come on, do it. So this is B. What is B? Yeah, 11 plus 6i minus, take C in bracket, it's 1 plus I. Find out. Find out the distance. I'm just waiting for your answer. You can be fast. You know how to do the sums, children. So be fast. Okay, shall we proceed? Let's just check your answers, verify your answers. So what do you get here? 11 plus 6i minus 1, and this is minus I. So I get 11 minus 1, 10. 6 minus I, that is 6i minus I plus 5i. Okay, I know how to simplify this. 10 square plus 5 square. So root of 125. It's 100 plus 25. I have written the answer as 125. I hope you have also got the same answer. Clear, children? So now we are going to compare the values. Shall I write up the first part? Okay. So I told you that after finding the distance, we have to compare the distance, children. So root of 162 and root of 125. So which is the bigger one here? This is the bigger. This is the bigger means this is far away. This will be far away, and this will be, the lesser one will be closer. If the distance is less, that means you are closer, and if the distance is far, you will be, what is it? If you have less distance, that means closer, you are closer. If you and I, we are standing at a distance of, in centimeters, okay, of 15 centimeter, 30 centimeter, we are closer. If we go for 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer, we will be farther, yes. So less distance, closer, more distance, farther. F-A-R-T-H, farther. So which is the smallest one? Yes, 125, square root of 125. This is for what? B and C. This is from B and C. So which is the point closest to C? B is closest to C. So write down. Therefore, B is closest to C. Therefore, B is closest to C means what is the point for B? What is the number? B was 11 plus 6i. 11 plus 6i is closest to, what is C, children? It's 1 plus I. Okay. So we have completed sum number 3. I hope you are clear with the first, second and the third sum that we have done today. Yes, children? And also I hope you are clear with the properties, and you have to just remember all the properties. Whenever you have a free time, try to remember the properties of complex, that is conjugates, and also the properties of modulus. We may have to use the properties for the sums. That is, you have to apply the properties when you solve the sum. So if you know all the properties, it will be easy for us to apply. Okay, children? Okay, now coming to the homework part. The homework is very easy, yes children. I'll give you 2 more sums. You have to complete sum number 3 and sum number 4. Write down the homework question. Oh, 3 done, yes children, yes, okay. So 4 and 5 will be your homework. Complete 4 and 5. So this is the homework question, yes. So what is the homework? Your homework is from question number 1, the second and the fourth subpart, and from question number 4 and 5. I'll just give you an idea how to complete sum number 4 and 5. Just come to page number 69. You can refer page 69. Okay, in 69 you have the model there. Example 2.13 children, okay? You just refer 2.30. You're getting my point? So you just take the help of 2.13 and they have given the figure also. So try to draw the figure. So you have to draw the figure for sum number 4 and sum number 5. Just try to draw the figure. So what is your homework? Your homework is from 2.5, question number 1, the second subpart and the fourth subpart. And question number 4 and question number 5. For question number 4 and question number 5, you are going to refer exercise, not exercise. You're going to refer example 2.13. And where is 2.13? It is in page 69. Are you clear, children? Can you try the sum? Yes, you have to try the sum and you have to submit your homeworks regularly. Okay, children? So we'll be continuing with the remaining sums. We have some more sums. Yes, we have around 5 more sums. Yes, from 6 to 10. So we'll be continuing with the remaining sums in the next class.